Alright guys, so we're back, and today you can probably tell from the thumbnail and title, I say this in every video, but we will be talking about the NBA Summer League. I have not made many videos lately outside. I haven't been outside. Well, I mean, I have been outside, but I haven't been fishing, trapping. You can't trap. Well, somebody's shooting a gun right now, so I guess I could make a video like that. But you can't trap right now unless you did like minnow trap or crawdad trap. And I just haven't been doing that. Everything's grew up. There's been a tree fell down there at the creek. And so we've just been making NBA videos. And it has been a pretty good week to make videos. Pretty good month, to be honest. And we need to do more NFL videos. And next year, next offseason, and this year, I'll promise you guys I will make more NFL videos. I've been slacking on that. I've not been making as many as I should. But so we're doing NBA again today, and let's get started. So we're going to be talking about the Summer League. That might be what was the title thumbnail. So some players have been exceeding well, really no players really exceeded expectations, to be honest. Most are either meeting their expectations or below expectations. So we're going to get to talking about what players are doing right here. So we're going to get started off with like the number 10 overall pick. We're going to go with Montez Buzelis, who is averaging 18 points per game in the Summer League, which is not bad at all, almost 20. So he's doing really good, being able to score. And then, so hopefully he can come in and help that Bulls team because they need young players. They're going to start a rebuild. Now they got to trade. If I was them, I'm trading Lonzo and Zach LaVine for whatever I can get. If I want picks and young players, that's what I want. I don't want no old player like no Chris Paul, which now that the Spurs have him, they really don't need to trade him. He is going to be a good point guard to go with Wemby. So we might end up making a video on that too soon, is teams that have changed and are looking good for next season. That is a big thing. That is true. So anyways, so we got done with Montez Buzelis. Now let's go to Rob Dillingham. So Rob, I can't remember what pick he went. It might have been it was 7th, I think. He went to the Spurs and one of their top. They had 2 picks in the lottery, so I'm pretty sure it's 7th. It could have been different, but yeah. So he was drafted by the Spurs on draft night. He got traded to the Timberwolves, so that is big because Tim Conley, Mike Conley. Tim Conley or Mike Conley. One of the two is the GM. One of them is their point guard. So we'll just go with either one of them. But whichever one of them is going to retire soon. And the point guard is going to retire soon. And that will give Rob a chance to grow under him for about a year or two, however long that he stays in the league. And then he can go up and play next to Ant, and that will be a dynamic duo. I mean, that is going to be a nice duo because you got Ant that can score, he can facilitate the ball, and he can defend. Rob, who is not the best defender, but he can score on nights when he's locked in, he can score, and he can also pass the ball. He is not the best defender, like I said. He is not the most athletically. He's not athletically gifted like Ant. I mean, he's a baller, but like he can't get up there and do 360 dunks. We never seen him do anything like that at Kentucky. So, yeah. Now let's get to Donovan Clingan. So, Clingan was a player who was not projected to go that high on draft boards until the college basketball championship. Like, I had not seen anybody projecting Donovan Clingan. And then after the NCAA basketball tournament was over, he was, like, projected top 3. And I was like, huh? And so I'm pretty sure he went He went at number 4, right? After Reed, he went at 4 or 5. I think did Stephon Castle. It was either him or Stephon Castle at 4 or 5. So, but anyway, so everybody's been hyped. I'm not sure how he's doing defensively. All I got right here is offensive or points scored, but he is averaging 9 points a game, which is not bad. It is summer league, so I mean he could be doing better because he's not playing against real NBA talent. He's playing against some real NBA talent, but most of the players in the summer league aren't developed NBA players just yet, and some of them never will get there. But, I mean, that's not bad for him just now coming into the league, and he will grow as a player. And I look for him to play under DeAndre Ayton for this first season with the Trailblazers, and then maybe if they can grow him to trade whichever one has the most stock, because they will be in a rebuild. And if he gets really good, then they'll just trade Ayton and keep him and build around him. I don't think that he is going to become that all-star player, but I mean, if he gets up there, you never know. All right, so let's go to Zach Edey. Zach Edey had a pretty good game his first game. He had the tip-in bucket for the win. He missed like clutch free throws, but then he tipped it in for the win his first game with the Grizzlies. So everybody was hyped about him, but right now he's just averaging 6 points a game, which is not the best. I figured Zach would be up there about 15, but he is not. So, but Zach is a good player. He is just gonna have to. He's like Donovan Clingan right now. Like they're gonna have to develop. I think that he has the chance. He more than likely will start for the Grizzlies this year. Or be like. So the Grizzlies lineup, this is what I'm looking at right now, is Ja Morant, Desmond Bane. Who would their small forward be? That's the question. I feel like they have somebody else. You could put Gigi Jackson in there, Jaren Jackson, and then Zach Edey. You could do something like that. You could throw another lineup in where you have like Marcus Smart, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and then Gigi Jackson, Jaren Jackson. So you could do any of them, but right now I'm looking for Zach Edey more than likely to start on that roster next to Jared Allen, Ja Morant facilitating the ball, being able to score, Desmond Bane the shooter that he is, and then Gigi Jackson really showed a lot of potential last year, and I thought that was pretty good. So next up, we're going to go with Dalton Knecht. And Knecht, the Lakers got him with the number 15 pick. Whichever pick they had in the first round, their only pick in the first round, they got him as a kind of a steal because he had failed so much. He was the shooter that they needed because the Lakers need a shooter. Austin Reeves is an okay shooter, but D'Angelo Russell really isn't a bona fide shooter, and so they got their shooter that they needed, and right now he's averaging the most that I have on this list, 21.3 points a game, which is pretty good. Nobody knew about Dalton Knecht until he went to Tennessee last year, and then I'm pretty sure he was the SEC Player of the Year, or was that the guy from Alabama? It was one of them two. I'd say it's the guy from Alabama, but I'm not sure. But he was up there in the best in the SEC, and he was great at Tennessee. I hate to say it, but he played awesome. I had never heard of Dalton Knecht. I don't know if anybody else had ever heard of Dalton Knecht, but Dalton Knecht was a beast at Tennessee, and it's crazy how we went from a lower school to Tennessee, who was a contender for the national championship last year, and played as their best player. I don't understand it, but right now he has gone into the league like he can be a star, and I think he has all-star potential. It makes me mad to say it because, I mean, he is from Tennessee. But so next up we're going to go, all right, so we'll go right here with two of these guys who, the next three that we're going to do, actually, we'll do Reed Sheppard real quick. So Reed Sheppard's averaging 20 points a game. I've already made a video on his Summer League performance, so I really don't have to say much. If you haven't watched that, then go watch that after this. But we're going to go ahead and mark Reed off. I'm using a piece of paper right now because I think my sister's laptop's usually what I use for this stuff, and I think she took it with her. And so, don't have it. And, yeah. So, I got a piece of paper that I wrote all these things on. But anyway, so Reed Sheppard is averaging 20 points a game right now, playing great for the Houston Rockets. And like I said in that video, I think that he has potential. They are a good young team who have rebuilt pretty good. They got two potential All-Stars in Jalen Green, Alfred Sengun. They have Cam Whitmore they stole last year. They have Fred VanVleet that Reed can learn under, and he said he was excited to. They have Dillon Brooks, who can play as a role. He's a role player in the NBA. He ain't a star. He's a role player. And, yeah, and so that team is pretty good. They got depth, and, I mean, I expect to hear big things from that team if they don't blow up somehow. So next up, we're going to go with the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft, who is averaging 14.5 points per game, which is not bad at all. He is doing better than most players on this list, but as the number 1 overall player, you would think that he would do better. In my opinion, right now, it's looking like Reed should have deserved number 1, but they picked a foreigner over him, so that's how it's been in the last few drafts. Next year, you never know, it could be Cooper Flagg from Duke. That deserves its own video. Like, there's so many things that I could put in. I could use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could have made 9 videos on all these players right here. And I'm doing it in one. And you guys are getting that right here. So, you're welcome. Just because you don't have to watch, like, 9-minute videos. Instead, you get to watch, like, 1 15-minute, 17-minute, however long this is going to be. So, yeah, Zachary Reese-Shea is playing all right now. He's not looking bad. But I think that Reed deserved to be up there. And Dalton Knecht, the way he's playing, looks like he deserved to be up there too. All right, so next up, we're going to go with Alex Sarr, the number 2 overall pick. And he is averaging 5.5 points per game. And the Washington Wizards, I think, really messed up with that pick right there. I mean, they went with the best player that they had an option to go with, that people were looking at thinking he was the best player. But to be honest, he wasn't the best player they could have went with. They could have went with Reed Sheppard. They do already have a point guard and a shooting guard, I guess you could say, Jordan Poole and Titus Jones. But still, you could have went with Reed instead of him because he has no shot. He cannot shoot the ball. He is not doing good in the paint right now. I said in a couple of videos ago that he was a dominant center. Well, he is not looking dominant at all. I seen a video where he had an easy floater in the paint. Well, there went the cap off my pen. But he had an easy floater in the paint, and he missed it. And it's just, I wish the best for him. But I don't think that he is going to live up to some of the hype that he had. I think that's why he fell off of draft boards going into the draft, is because people started watching tape and realizing that he could not shoot. And that's why that Reese-Shea went at 1. In my opinion, Reed should have went at 1, Reese-Shea at 2, and then maybe Dalton Knecht at 3. Dalton Knecht or Reed could both be together. Like, they're kind of the same player. To be honest, Reed might be a little bit better. Reed is better defensively, and in my opinion, he's more athletic. But they're shooting. I think Reed's better at shooting too. If Reed would have been a senior last year, and with all them freshmen on that Kentucky team, or if all of them would have been a senior, we'd have won the national championship. Calipari. But anyways, so next up is the number 55th overall pick to the Los Angeles Lakers. He is going to be the best player in the NBA in a few years. The nepotism is crazy. I mean, it kind of is. That's what everybody's saying. But hear me out, guys. He's the 55th overall pick. The best 55th overall pick we've seen in a while, which was either last year or the year before. The Warriors selected Lesnar or whatever his name is. I don't even know, but he's not that bad. He sounds bad, but he's not that bad. And, like, people's like, oh, my gosh, LeBron got his son drafted. Yeah, LeBron did get his son drafted, okay? Yeah, we know LeBron got his head coach. LeBron got all the role players on his team traded for Russ. LeBron has killed the Lakers franchise, and if I'm a Lakers fan, I'm mad about that. But he also won you a championship, okay? You wouldn't have 17 championships right now if LeBron didn't come to your team. You wouldn't have Anthony Davis. I think that you would have never won that championship. You would have had a bunch of role players that didn't have a star to play with him. So if I'm you, I'm still thanking LeBron James for that one championship that he brought me. And he is not going to be there much longer. So you'll be able to build around Anthony Davis however they want to do that, or trade him, get a bunch of pieces to rebuild. But it's the 55th overall pick, okay? The 55th overall pick is never good. So who cares if LeBron gets his son into the league? Bronny has got potential. Right now he is averaging 8.8 points per game. And that's his first 2 games were not good, but his last 2 that he has played have been decent. And I think he had 13 points, 13 or 14 in one, and 13 or 14 in the other. I think 14 in the and I think 13 in the last one, 14 in the one before that. So he is doing better. He's just got to get the nervousness out of him, get the butterflies out of his stomach, and just walk in there and play ball. That's all I got to say. They were asking him, like, how are you able to play good tonight or something? He's like, I'm just getting over everything that everybody's saying about me. And I like that about Bronny. He's got a good head, and all he wants to do is play ball. And that's what I like. His dad wants to play with him. More than likely, this or next year is going to be LeBron's last year, unless he gets this in his head that he's going to play with Bryce too, which I've seen some things about. But if I'm a Lakers fan, I'm not mad because the 55th overall pick is never that good, and you got a chance to keep a guy who is still an all-star in this league, and I mean, he's not a bad player. He makes your franchise look really good. So, that's my opinion on all of this. I hope you all agree. And if there's a player that I missed out on, sorry, but I threw all of them that I really figured I needed to cover on. Thanks for watching this video.